Hey guys. So on Monday, the 30th of March, I just celebrated my daughter's 10th birthday. I just have to say that that was a really big moment for me because I let her skip school and I took the whole day and spent it with her doing what she wanted to do. It was her 10th birthday after all. And throughout the day, I just got to thinking, okay, 3 years ago, I would not be doing this. I would make her go to school and then I would definitely make sure that I had all the alcohol ready to have her birthday party because, it's not her birthday, it's a parent's way to celebrate, right? We have to be drunk on our children's birthday. We have to provide all the alcohol. It has to be centered around the alcohol. No, that was not this birthday, and it'll never be that birthday ever again. That is why I'm here because for 7 years, her birthdays were revolved around alcohol. And it's disgusting. I see it now all the time and not judging because I was that mom before. And your child's birthday does not have to be about providing alcohol beverages. It can actually be about spending time with them. The day can revolve around them. It doesn't have to revolve around your alcohol. And it's really sad because of the stuff that we're going through right now. There's really close people to her that don't even tell her happy birthday. And I remember my grandparents always calling me and telling me my happy birthday. My grandma that's still alive still calls every single year and sings to me, to my husband, to my kids, and everybody in the family. And it's just special. Birthdays are special. I know some of you probably don't like celebrating your birthday. I get it, whatever. But at the same time, these are special for our children. These are core memories for them. And if your children's birthday party has to revolve around alcohol and what you want, that's selfish. Yes, I was selfish. And so was everybody that participated with me. They were selfish as well because I used to have to plan my events because, yeah, I would drink, but it wouldn't be until later. I ended up having to plan my events earlier in the morning so certain people wouldn't show up wasted. It was embarrassing. It was uncalled for and selfish. But through reading, or I'm re listening to In the Realm of Hungry Ghosts, and it is so powerful. If you guys have not listened or read this book, I highly, highly encourage you guys to read this book. And I'm going to read a little piece of what I was listening to yesterday as my daughter was ice skating. And I was listening to it, responding to some comments because, busy mom, busy life. But there was this part, and I did post a post the last week of March about it. And it is just so, so powerful. Dismissing addictions as bad habits or self-destructive behavior comfortably hides their functionality in the life of the addict. And then it says that the rest of the quote explains that you cannot understand addiction unless you ask what relief the person is finding or hoping to find in the substance or behavior. And I didn't like the behavior of some people that I would drink around, so I would drink just to tolerate them. But now they say that they drink to tolerate me. Whatever. One up the other one, right? But whatever. The point is not that addiction is good or harmless. It is that addiction makes sense to the person using it. So for all those times that some of us blacked out or, came wasted to a kid's birthday or just couldn't say, okay, sure, I will not bring that bottle of alcohol to your house to have a good celebration with you. It makes sense to the people using it and then they turn on you. And it's sad. It's so sad. We're currently in a huge battle because we actually asked for alcohol not to be brought to our house. And it was apparently the worst thing that you could ever ask anybody to do. And now these people have no relationship. And yeah, I am shamed. I am guilted. I am the one that shouldn't be a part of the family anymore, I guess. But that is where addiction and all these behaviors and habits, this is what alcohol does to us. We let it run our lives. We let it ruin relationships, friendships, family dynamics. And it's so, so sad. I don't remember growing up with grandparents that chose alcohol over us. I was always with my grandparents, and every birthday party, my grandparents were there. And it's just sad that alcohol has destroyed so much of my life. And it's hard for those that are in it to understand until you get out of it. And then you understand what it's done, what it's doing, and how bad it is for you. Someone the other day was mentioning how heroin is the worst one out there. And I said, well, it depends on who you're asking, because a lot of us did not know that alcohol was actually labeled a drug, but hey, it is. So for all of us that were like, I've never smoked and I've never done drugs, well, you're currently sipping on a drug right now. And I was that person. But I think the industry is just so big that they're never going to pin it as a drug. They're never going to tell you that it's bad for you, it shrinks your brain, and all the things that we start learning about alcohol and what it does to us once we quit drinking and actually care what it does to us and to everyone around us. I'm going to go back to dismissing addictions as bad habits or self-destructive behavior comfortably hides their functionality in the life of the addict. And then it was in the very beginning chapter of chapter 1 of In the Realm of Hungry Ghosts. And the rest of the quote explains that you cannot understand addiction unless you ask what relief that person is finding or hoping to find in the substance or behavior, which is such a strong point because it shifts the conversation from why are they doing this to themselves to what are they trying to escape. It's really accurate. What are they trying to escape? Did they have a bad childhood? Is there too much trauma involved that they don't want to set down the bottle and actually focus on that? We are made to feel. We are not made to escape our feelings. So once we realize that, oh my gosh, it is totally okay to feel this hatred, this anger, this sadness, this grief, we can actually grow as humans. It is actually possible, but you just have to want to do that, right? And I just was really in my mind yesterday on the 30th of March about how that just resonated so much with me because I dismissed so much of it. I dismissed all my behavior and all the things that I've done. And I was ruining my children's life. I did not realize what I was doing. I was showing them the exact way that I grew up. My husband grew up. Everything was centered around alcohol. And I don't care. A lot of us grew up that way. A lot of us are still having our kids watch us do the exact same things that we were taught in the environments that we grew up in. Everything was just revolved around alcohol. Heaven forbid you show up to a kid's birthday party and there's no alcohol there. How dare you? Isn't that the weirdest concept? No, I remember it was probably 4.5 years, 4 birthdays ago. I think I could be wrong. I think it was the spring of 22 or something like that. I had a big party for my kids. They are both born in March and we had a combined birthday party. And there was probably between adults and children, 50 people here, 10 Costco pizzas, beer, wine, shambongs. All of us moms were just getting wasted. I don't even remember my kids opening their presents. That is pretty sick. That is not something to be proud of. That is not something like, oh, she throws epic kid birthday parties. Yeah, pizza, all the alcohol you can have. And I don't want to be remembered for that. I want to be remembered for the mom that, okay, I pulled my kid out of school and let them have a solid day with me, you know, all that time and energy just on them, not focusing on the other adults and what they want. What can I get them to drink? It's not about the alcohol, guys. It is about being in the present. It's not about being in the past or the future. It's being in the present. And yesterday, Emma's 10th birthday was probably one of the best birthdays I've had with her because I didn't care about pleasing anyone else except for her. And she had one of the best days. It was just me and her and another little friend and my mom. And that little girl, she's the one that always says, I hope you never drink again. Who wants that for their life? What parent wants to hear their kids say, I hope you never drink again? Because they've witnessed that. You can say that to your adult parents and they don't give a freaking rat's ass about it. They're like, you just have to accept me for who I am. No, guess what? Self-respect comes when you get sober and you don't have to respect disrespectful people. And that is another thing that you learn in sobriety. But the joy the joy. A lot of people just are like, I don't know, I can't find the joy. I am bored. I am this, I am that. It's miserable. You're miserable. That's simple. You're miserable. You can't find the joy because you don't know how to be unmiserable. Do something with a loved one. Go adventure. Go on a hike. Learn to hike. Somebody I coach, oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with his hikes. And I'm going to say I wish I could do that. I know I could do that. It's just I don't find the time to do that. But the things that I've learned from the people that I coach and the things that have kept them sober are absolutely amazing. Yeah, some of these people, that's all they did. Drink from sun up to sundown and then wake up and repeat. And now they're out doing things that they love, that finds them joy, spending solid time with their children. Some of us have young children and we are raising them to be good humans. And how do you do that when you're just hiding behind a bottle and not know how to learn life yourself? You don't know how to cope because you only focus on coping through the bottom of the bottle. And that's not any way to cope. That's not how we teach our kids to cope. And a lot of us just were never taught the coping skills and have done stupid, ridiculous things in our life that some people cannot forgive or look past. I, for one, am stuck in my past with a lot of people in my life because that's who Megan was. But nobody's taken the time to get to know who I am now. Heaven forbid they look in their own mirror, right? And that is when people start judging you, start pointing fingers because they are uncomfortable with their own behavior and they don't like who they see in the mirror, but they won't ever admit it, right? There's been many times that I have to play that tape forward still and realize it's just a thought. Alcohol is not the answer. March 30th of 2026 reaffirmed why I'm sober. I am sober so I can be present, so I can be the mom that my children deserve. I want to be the mom that my kids call home. It doesn't matter how old they get. I don't want to ruin that with them because alcohol took over. I never want to disappoint them. Of course, I'm going to disappoint them, but I don't ever want, I listened to the song today and it's like, why are hometowns called hometowns if you can't go back and visit? Alcohol ruins that for me. It ruined, I don't go back to my hometown. I'm not welcome there and I don't want to be back there and I don't have a place that's comforting to stay anyways. And when I did go back was when my grandma passed away, unfortunately, and I don't ever want to go back. I want my kids to know that their hometown, that they can come back to their hometown. They can rely on me to call them and be like, you've got this. When they're broken, I'm there to pick up their pieces. I'm not there to shove them down even further just because they made some bad mistakes. Like, that's not what a parent does. I am going to be that parent that changes the generational cycles and traumas, and my kids will be able, I will put a band-aid on all of their wounds. I know that sometimes a band-aid you can't put a band-aid on a bullet hole, but I can be there to pick them up and show them how to get through. And that is why I am in this sober space, because I've lived it, I've done it, I've lived it. A lot of people still like question, how much did you drink? Or what did you drink? How much did you drink? How often did you drink? Did you have withdrawals? Did you do this? Did you do that? Well, I've answered a lot of that in a lot of my videos, so you can go back and watch a lot of videos. The sum of the answer is I drank almost daily. I binged on the weekends. I didn't have an off switch. Did I have withdrawals? I didn't have some of these withdrawals that some people explain that they have, but I had the fatigue, some of the milder ones, but I'm so glad that I didn't get to that level of withdrawal that some people have because, oh my gosh, a hangover is terrible. I couldn't imagine 2 weeks of pure hell. And then what, 6 months later, do it again? That boggles my mind. A lot of us say, I'm never doing that again when we have a bad hangover. And sad to say, some of these are after birthday parties for our own children, which is even more pathetic. And then you wake up and you're like, I'm never doing that again. And guess what you're doing 2 days later? You're doing the exact same thing again. Why repeat the same thing over and over? What relief does it give you? What are you trying to escape? I can damn well narrow it down to what a lot of people close to my life, what they are trying to escape, and they don't want to confront it. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a licensed counselor, but through the books that I have read, they really are eye-opening, and a lot of us need a wake-up call. And don't let that wake-up call be on your deathbed. Don't let it destroy your families even more because sometimes it's you can't go back. Sometimes it's too far gone and the hate is too deep because alcohol has destroyed it. And if you haven't quit drinking yet, I want you to try to celebrate your next big event sober. Birthday, Mother's Day's coming up, Easter's coming up. How do I stay sober on Easter? It's a really good question. Well, when the champagne's not in your face, there's no reason to drink, right? Easter isn't about drinking. Your kid's birthday isn't about drinking. Mother's Day isn't about drinking. 4th of July, Memorial Day, all I live in the United States, so excuse me that I'm saying some of these that you probably don't know, but none of these odd holiday slash events are made for you to drink. It's a celebration. You don't have to use alcohol as a celebration. You can live in the moment, be present. For Easter this year, I'm having 1 or 2 families over, do an egg hunt, and in honor of my grandma that passed in December, I am making she loves strawberry shortcake. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make her coleslaw, I'm gonna make her macaroni salad, and if I could figure it out, I might try to make her sugar cookies because she made the best sugar cookies. But find a way to celebrate outside of celebrating with alcohol. There's so many things in life that you can enjoy without being numbed or trying to escape. It is okay to show up without a bottle in your hand. It is okay to say, I'm not drinking. It is okay to say, I don't drink anymore. It is okay to celebrate your kid's birthday party stone cold sober and be with them. It is okay to live your life, finding the joy, healing your internal self, working on yourself, reading the self help books, going on the walks, reaching out to a friend or anyone to help keep you accountable. That is what it's about. Just live your life without what the world tells you to do. The world tells you in every single billboard that you pass to drink, go to the store and get that beverage that's bright on the billboard or on the end of every end cap in the store. Do it. Feel like crap. Ruin your family. For some of us, we don't have a moderation switch. We have an on switch. We don't have an off switch. So for those that are like, well, you could just moderate. No, no. For everyone that I talk to, we talk for a reason, and it's because there is no moderation in our world. And I do believe living in moderation. I do believe in an 80-20 world, but not with alcohol. Alcohol is not for me. It doesn't have a place for me, and it doesn't have a place for my family. And my kids will never have to witness half the crap that I've had to go through in my childhood and what I still have to go through from certain family members. They'll never, you do not have to respect the disrespect. You can respect yourself enough to walk away and let go and move on. You don't have to be held hostage to your past. You are a better person than that. Maybe you made maybe you've made bad decisions doesn't make you a bad person. People do change. People do grow if they want to. Nobody can force you. Nobody's going to hold your hand. Nobody's going to make you get sober. Nobody's going to make you say sorry. Nobody's going to make your life happy. Nobody's coming to save you. You have to be the one. You have to want it. You have to want all the things for yourself and do all the things. You have to do the work for yourself. Somebody's not going to do it for you. But I hope you guys have a happy Easter for those that celebrate Easter and remind you that you do not have to drink just because everyone else is. Show them that it's possible. Enjoy it, especially for those of us that have kids. Here, come over to my house and let's get wasted on Easter while the kids entertain themselves. No, 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 no. Be with your children. You only have 18 summers with your children and make the best of it. Yes, I know we have more summers with our children, but if you're a parent, legally you only have 18 years with your children. Make the best of it. Don't screw up. Don't make them hate you. Don't make them resent you. Do not push them away because you chose alcohol over them. And this is coming from someone who's walked in your shoes. There's so much more to my story than I share publicly, but I've been through it. I've done it. I've been through it. And I'm still working on myself. I'm still healing so much that I'm rereading, re-listening to In the Realm of Hungry Ghosts because it just helped me so much. So what are you guys doing? What pain are you trying to escape? Please answer in the comments. And remember, I am here to help you. You just have to reach out to me.